Welcome, everybody. This is 7.1 on trigonometric identities. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we are going to learn about trig identities and use them to simplify them or to do algebraic proof. Okay, so some of these guys you guys already know. The reciprocal identities you guys know. Right? All of these guys you guys know. So the reciprocal of cosecant is sine, reciprocal of secant is cosine, reciprocal of cotangent is tangent. Tangent is equal to sine over cosine. And if tangent equals sine over cosine, then the cotangent equals cosine over sine. Right? So we know that. We got that in our bags. And this list is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow as we go along in this chapter. The Pythagorean identities is new to us. Okay, and I'll show you guys how the identities work. So the Pythagorean identities, it's based off of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so if we go back to x, y, and r and an xy coordinate plane, right? Like what we did when we, like in the middle of this trig unit, if we use the Pythagorean theorem, then it's x squared plus y squared equals r squared, correct? Yeah. So if it's that way, how we get our Pythagorean identities is by dividing one of these guys by x squared, y squared, and then r squared. So the first one I'm going to do is divide it by r squared. Okay. The next one I'm going to divide by x squared. And the last one I'm going to divide by y squared. Okay. So here, x squared plus or divided by r squared, I can rewrite that as x over r quantity squared, correct? And using the properties of exponents. Okay. Plus this one too. I can rewrite this as y over r squared equals r squared over r squared is 1. So what is x over r? X over r is cosine squared theta plus y over r is sine squared theta equals 1. So this one, cosine squared plus sine squared or sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1 is this first one here. Okay. This next one, if I divide all three by x squared divided by x squared is 1 plus y over x quantity squared equals r over x quantity squared. Right? So this is 1 plus y over x. What is y over x? Tangent squared theta equals, what is r over x? Secant squared theta. Okay? That is this one here. Right, this second one here. 1 plus tangent is the same thing as tangent plus 1. Right, tangent squared plus 1. And this last one, if I divide everything by y squared, I'm going to get x over y quantity squared plus 1 equals r over y quantity squared. X over y is cotangent plus 1 equals r over y. Cosecant squared. So that one right there, cotangent squared plus 1 equals cosecant squared, is just like this third one here. Okay, so that's how you get these identities. And honestly, if you just know the word Pythagorean identities and go through this activity, right, we can build it. So you never have to memorize it. Okay, it's good that you memorize it if you do, right? These three identities, but you don't have to, because you can always go through this and build it yourself. As long as you know it's Pythagorean identities, and then just start off with the Pythagorean theorem and start dividing by each of them. Okay? So equipped with all of these, we're going to start simplifying stuff, but we do need some skills. Okay? We have to remember our algebra skills, right? How we get the common denominator, the special form that we learn when we're in algebra, right? Like a plus b times a minus b equals a squared plus b squared. Yeah. We have to know the perfect square trinomials, the positive and the negative version of them. Okay. We have to remember our factoring skills. And this one I put, but we have to know how to deal with fractions. It's not even algebra skills, right? How to add fractions, how to multiply fractions, when to cancel, or when to get the common denominator. All right? And we need to learn how to express in terms of sine and cosine. Everything, all the trig functions can be expressed in sine and cosine, right? Because of these two guys. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Tangent is sine over cosine, and cotangent is cosine over sine. So with these four here, right, we can express everything in terms of sine and cosine. Okay? And then we're going to use these trig identities to simplify them. A hint or a helpful tip, if you see a trig function squared, think Pythagorean identities. Okay, 90% of the time you can use the Pythagorean identities to kind of simplify that. All right? And this section or this chapter, the more we practice, the more you get it. So from here on out, it's just examples. All right? And please refer to the next video for my examples.